Howdy folks, Tetsu here, down in the lower tiers where the power's low, but the battles are fierce. And today I'll be continuing my self-proclaimed quest to archive all the battles during the first 7U tournament, which thereby I hope to bring light to the tier and possibly help it grow. So join me as we move on to the 10th match of Round 2. Our combatants this time will be Martainvtran against Ice Yazu. As per the norm, I know nothing about these players. Their skills shall be witnessed here today by myself and you, the viewer. If you happen to enjoy the video, I humbly request you click that like button, also subscribe and click that bell if you want to be notified for later uploads. Working together, we can bring more attention to this fascinating metagame. With all that said, let's begin. Alright, match 10, game 1 of round 2. Let's play. Lead metagame. Tentacle coming from Martin, and Yazu sends out Charmeleon immediately switches to their own tentacle. Luckily, Hydro Pump ends up missing, and Yazu crits Ivysaur with Hydro Pump, which means it would have been defeated by Blizzard, and Meowth gets switched in by Martin. It gets taken out quickly by Tentacle, who did a Thunderbolt for some odd reason, maybe hoping for a Para. Martin sends in their tentacle, and Yazu immediately starts wrapping it, whittling down its... Oh, and Ivysaur comes in, tanks! Well, I said tanks. It gets obliterated by another crit Hydro Pump. Gosh dang it! Yazu is just on the ball right now. Meowth and Ivysaur taken out. Rhyhorn got switched in... For what? What? Martin makes it substitute, lowers its health even more, only able to do a little bit, significant damage to Meowth, which immediately gets switched out as Tentacle is in its speed lowered by Bubble Beam. Does some damage to Tentacle from Yazu's side, and Rhyhorn gets sacked. Hitmonchan coming in, body slams Tentacle, and immediately Charmeleon comes in with Tentacle being switched. Counter, though! The counter switch! Charmeleon coming in from Martin, slash going, does some damage. Counter coming in once again, and Charmeleon from and Martin's Charmeleon is down. Hitmonchan being the final Pokemon, Fire Blast, doing some damage, 2-hit KO. Submission does miss, and Hitmonchan goes down. That was a pretty fast one. Alright, let's move on to game 2. There we go. Game 2. Let's play lead meta game. Tentacle coming from Martin and Charmeleon once again by Yazu. They switch in their tentacle once again, but this time Martin goes in for wrap. Ivysaur coming from Yazu. More wrap. Getting some of that. Those power points reduced. Tentacle being switched back in. And wrap is just going to continue from Martin at this point. Yazu decided to just keep... Oh, and they wind up getting a Hydro Pump in, and Martin answers back with Surf. Yazu doing the same, but gets a crit. Martin goes in for a wrap, but misses. Shelter being switched in from Martin, with Tentacle immediately bodying it with wrap. This is the problem with Shelter. It is, unfortunately, very slow. Ivysaur from Yazu comes in and takes out Martin's Shelter. Charmeleon coming in after the sack. Yazu sending their own Charmeleon to tank a Fire Blast. Fire Blast coming out onto Rhyhorn from Martin, and Fire Spin allowing Charmeleon to be switched out for Tentacle. With Martin doing the same, but they wind up going... They wind up going for their Charmeleon, immediately have to switch back out, which means Martin's Tentacle takes damage. Wrap coming in, and now Yazu is currently doing some switching. And once again, Martin makes a bad prediction, brings Ivysaur against a Charmeleon. Rhyhorn has to come in, takes quite a bit of damage, hit 38%, and gets taken out by Yazu's Golbat. Meowth coming in from Martin, does a slash, double edge coming from Golbat, and Hyper Beam finishing it off. Yazu is once again just killing it here. Fire Blast, one, damn! Oh, I was about to say, it lived on 1 health, went for a Hyper Beam, but missed. Yazu's Golbat is down, but there's really nothing Martin can do at this point. Well, well, no, I was about to say, Sleep Powder misses. Yeah, this is done. This is done. Ivysaur could have taken on Meowth, but unfortunately, with all the mons left for Yazu, Martin doesn't have a prayer at this point. Oh boy, this was actually a pretty decent match with Martin's Ivysaur living on 1 HP. Tentacool finishes off Ivysaur, but all it takes is Charmeleon coming in and slashing, and down goes Tentacool. With Yazu getting a pretty decent set of wins, going 2-0 in the game. Well done to both players. So, what did we learn? So far in these early rounds, the only mon that can tank Tent's hits are Tent itself. Ivy is an okay switch in regards to water resist, but with it being outsped by Tent and being 2 times weak to ice, it leaves Ivy open to a possible 2-shot from a Pump/Blizz combo, although that chance is very minor without a crit. Your best bet is muscling through it with your own Tent, hitting it enough, and then PTing out when you have it low enough for a faster mon to take it out. The idea of blindly switching Meowth into anything is nearly unthinkable. Like most of the tier, Meowth lacks much in the way of bulk, with any hit putting it closer to being taken out later in the match. Also, using T-Bolt off the Cat's Poultry 40 special against Tent's base 100 is not recommended. Subbing is really good with spot on prediction. Problem is, when done in front of a mon with no need to switch, it becomes a rather funny sight. Good counterplay can be very powerful, but likewise, poor use does nothing but give the opponent a chance to get an extra hit, especially with counters lower priority. Also, not playing around counter when you know your opponent has it can put you in a tough spot. While Rhyhorn is a good charm check on paper, it's not perfect. Low speed makes it easy to pivot out from, and as a switch into Fire Blast, it's probably the worst of the common resistances, while also fearing the attack reduction from Burn. Switching is always a risky venture down here, be it from the well-timed counter, incoming damage to whatever is coming in, or risking your opponent predicting you and switching accordingly. With the match over, Ice Yazu will be continuing on into the winner's bracket, while Martainvtran will be heading down to the LB with their first elimination. We'll be catching up with them later, I'm sure. If you happen to have made it to this point in the video, what do you think of the new format? Let me know down in the comments. And if you want to get in on 7U, I'll have all the necessary links down in the description. Both the Discord and the Resource Hub will be in there. Also, if you want to check out the playlist for the rest of the tournament, I'll also have that down below as well. Also, Big Yellow's video. Thank y'all so much for watching, and y'all have a nice day. Take care. Bye!